This episode of A Taste of Rhode Island was made possible by the South County Tourism Council, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting Southern Rhode Island as a leisure travel destination. And Rich's Sweet Heat. It's not a barbecue sauce, it's not a hot sauce, it's Rich's Sweet Heat.
George's of Galilee is one of Rhode Island's most iconic seafood restaurants, and the Durfee family, who have owned and operated this spot in the fishing port of Galilee, can trace their local history and even some of their family recipes back to the 1600s.
Welcome to George's of Galilee Waterfront Seafood Restaurant. My name is Kevin Durfee. We're here in the historic fishing village of Galilee. We've been serving generations of families our award-winning signature dishes since 1948. We've got a lot going on down here today. Just wanted to take you around and show you a few things. One of my ancestors, Tom Durfee, came here back in 1660 from Essex, England, landed in Portsmouth, started one of the first taverns in the country in 1663. Over the years, our family has perfected traditional English recipes like chowder. We make a Rhode Island clear broth chowder here, which we feel as though that we're probably maybe one of the first places that ever created a clear broth clam chowder. It is called Rhode Island clam chowder. We put that name on the map. It is now considered its own class of chowder, similar to New England clam chowder, the thick white kind, or Manhattan chowder. My ancestors, when they came here, they had great relationships with the Native Americans, the Narragansett Indians, and they took their English chowder recipe and they mixed it with a valuable food commodity of the Native Americans, which they call quahogs.
While they have deep roots in the past, George's is also making a bold push into the future with a commitment towards sustainability.
So I took over George's in 1995, and I've been primarily focusing on being more of a sustainable source of seafood for our guests. We buy our seafood directly from the fishermen here in Galilee, lobsters, clams, and fish. And we try to be as sustainable as we can. One of our specials today, we've got black sea bass as well as skate.
Hello there, we're at George's of Galilee today. We're in our kitchen and we'll be making some local pan-fried skate wings. Here we have some skate wings that was caught right off the point, Judith here. I feel like skate is one of the most underappreciated fish, just because I feel like people just don't know how to handle it based on just if you look at the skin of the fish. It has so many different spikes and prickers that it's very hard to work with, and people just used to use for the bait fish or just throw them back off the fishing boats once we did catch them. Me personally, I love the fish. It's a great taste, it's a great flavor, and a great texture. So we're going to do a little educated lessons today. I'll try to show you how to fillet the fish, and we'll do a little cooking demonstration with the very basic local ingredients, something that anybody can prepare at home within 10 to 15 minutes. So we have one of the skate wings here, so you would get the two nice fillets once the fish is done, which would look this way. We'll get to it in a minute. So we kind of want to go down the bone and get this separated a little bit better so we can get underneath, and try not to remove the skin first, and then we can get the fillet off the bone. Just to get the skin, which is not edible at all. Some of the fish you can eat the skin. This is not the skin you want to deal with. You could get this fish from all these local fishing ports that right down in the Galilee. It's not expensive. For the quality and the taste that you get for this fish, I feel like that should be pretty much on the same level with the striped bass. And it's mild, it's sweet, and it does have the little stringy consistency of the scallop. So that's where the whole name with the poor man's scallops came from. So we got all our top layer off. Top the skin. Oh, good. So now we're down to a nice little fillet. I'll cut all these things around. So here we are. It wasn't too tough. I mean, it'll take some practice. So we have a nice two beautiful fillets here. We're going to pan fry them in the brown butter with some simple local ingredients. Here we do have some broccolini from the Brandon's family farm right down in Kingston in Rhode Island. We're gonna do some lemons, capers, like the little piccata kind of sauce and a brown butter. So here at George's, we're trying to educate people. We're bringing in new different species of the fish that people not very familiar with, as a sea robin, such as the skate wings. That's the fish that we have plenty around in the oceans. This is the fish that comes straight off the port. The fishermen go in the 10 minutes away from the fishing port and they catch this delicious, amazing fish that's local and sustainable. Who knows, years down the road we might not have tuna, we might not have the swordfish, so we just want to make sure everyone's ready and prepared and they know what other options of the fish that we could use. Just trying to, educate the people and bring the new things to the table and make sure everyone is on the same page with all this local global movement to protect our oceans and do the right things. Now we're just gonna show you how to make this nice, delicious tasting fish. Have to make sure our oil gets nice and hot. So we do have our fillets here. I'm not gonna put too much on fish. We don't want to cover up the taste. Like I said, the fish is delicious tasting by itself. We don't want to overkill it with anything. We're just gonna do salt, pepper. So our oil looks hot enough. Make sure it doesn't splash. So you want to brown the fish on each side for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once we're done cooking the fish, we will make the sauce right in the same pan so we can get all the nice delicious flavor from the fish that goes right into the sauce. A little bit of the onions and a little bit of the garlic first, and a few sticks of butter. So we do want the butter to brown a little bit. We'll do a few capers, squeeze a little bit of the lemon. So we just deglaze our sauce with a little bit of the sherry. We want alcohol to burn a little bit, which it did. So now here we are with our sauce. Put a little bit over the fish.
George's is also a favorite spot for ultra-fresh oysters, sourced within walking distance from the restaurant.
So this is Harvey Cataldo. He has an oyster farm right here about a stone's throw away from George's called Blufffield Cove Oysters. And I wanted him to talk about his famous Gansett Point oysters. That is our house oyster.
Well, these are our Gansett Points. They're grown in floating gear, and which allows them to bounce around a lot. So even though you see the new growth on these, it keeps it down and lets the cup start growing. And it keeps them all kind of uniform.
I like to have these things all natural, naked, no mignonette, no cocktail sauce.
Really nice texture, gorgeous. Tastes like the ocean more than any other oyster I've had.
When I
Right at the
see
table.
Harvey's face come through the door when he delivers, I know I'm getting the freshest oyster. I'm not buying these oysters from a distributor. I'm getting it from the guy that's actually standing in the water harvesting his oysters, and that's just such a good feeling for me and for my guests.
A lot of times we might come here several times a day, and they're literally coming out of the water, getting iced down. The minute they reach temperature, boom, they're over here. So within an hour, they're here.
And they're
And
being
it's only because
shucked,
we have to ice them down.
and they'll get shucked
And they
half
get
an hour
shucked right
later
in.
on someone's plate.
So you're not really going to get a fresher oyster than walking it. I could walk here.
So not only does George's have amazing fresh local seafood, they really try to source from local craft brews here in Rhode Island.
So here at George's, we carry a lot of craft brews, especially right here from Rhode Island, very local from Mass, Nantucket as well. You've got the #1 APA in the country right now, Whalers. They're 10 minutes down the road over in Eastdale. Hazy Day and Captain's Daughter are both from Graysdale, which is down in Westerly. And then you've got Narragansett, they're brewing in Pawtucket now, and as well as Foolproof, they're also right up in Pawtucket. People want local, whether they're coming from New York, California, all over the world. They come here to enjoy the beach and stay in the houses, and they're all asking what's local from Rhode Island.
George's is fun. Great food, great people.
Cheers.
you.